Hello, it's Tim from Somerville Shutters, and today we're going to discuss the two most common fixes that you can do at home for your shutters. First, we're going to talk about tensioning louvers. Because the shutters are made of wood that expands and contracts as it heats and cools, sometimes the louvers can be too tight or be too loose and not stay in the positions you want. So we're going to show you real quick on an example shutter here how to tension those louvers. As you can see, these louvers here are very loose and will be difficult to keep them in the position you want. So to strengthen or tighten those louvers, we're going to use the tensioning holes that are provided in the shutter itself. So first step is we're going to access the shutter that we need to access. Each bank of louvers in the shutter has a set of tensioning holes on it. There's one on the left side, and there's also one on the back side or the right side of the shutter. To access those holes, you'll need a Phillips head screwdriver to get in there and tighten the screw. We keep a long one for accessing them, and it makes it a little easier. Sometimes on the back side, we need the short screwdriver in order to get it past the window to get into the tensioning hole. So once we found the tension holes or tension screws that go with that set of louvers, we're just going to use a Phillips head screwdriver. We're going to insert it into the hole and find the head of the Phillips head screw in there. And we're just going to tighten that screw until we feel the tension of the louvers get to the point where we want. It's important not to over tighten those louvers. You also want to make sure you access both sides of the shutter and tension both the screws a little bit at each time until you get the exact tension you're looking for. Once you have that exact tension, you can close the shutter and go back and make sure that the louvers will stay in the correct position for you. Now you've achieved the proper tensioning of the louvers. So the first thing we looked at was tensioning of the louvers. We achieved that by opening the shutters and accessing the tensioning hole on each side of the shutters. Each bank of louvers has one louver that has tensioning screws on the side of it. You use a Phillips head screwdriver to get in there. You tighten the screw on each side until you achieve the desired tension of the louvers. You do the same thing if the louvers were too tight and you need to loosen them up, except you loosen the screws versus tighten the screws in the tensioning holes. So if you're trying to repair your shutter and you can't quite get it, don't get frustrated. We would rather you pick up the phone, call the shop at the number below, and we'll send someone out to help you get this repair finished. While we're doing it, we'll also show you how to make this repair for the future.